Hi everyone, I'm Sarah McCune. I'm going to talk about the Muse of Fire project, where kids write, adults act, and communities connect. We basically just make fools of ourselves on stage, for the expense of 10-year-old to 12-year-olds. This group actually just kind of stumbled into my life. As most people say, millennials don't go to things, things come to them. I'm a typical 26-year-old. I work at a server restaurant, Mount Vernon, the oldest restaurant in Chattanooga. Yeah, I'm one of the youngest there, but I'm not 16. It all started at the whiskey festival. Like a good millennial, I was sneaking in underage. Really, I'm actually of age, drinking whiskey, and I found the Muse of Fire project. A bunch of adults up here were dressed in crazy costumes, and it could have been the whiskey, it could have just been sheer genius. But I found this project. See, I started in seminary in Berkeley, California. That's me dressed up in attire, doing my thing, decorating altars, teaching the kids how to bring theater into the church. Unfortunately, I was an abysmal failure at seminary. I didn't exactly play the minister card correctly. I cursed a little too much on stage and ended up in Costa Rica like one of my colleagues. Costa Rica happened by accident. I met Mike Mallet. He failed at being an exterminator in the Hamptons. He ended up starting a butterfly jungle in Costa Rica. Yeah, exactly. You fail at everything is what I came to. The tree shows this symbolic notion of a butterfly coming into full bloom. This is me failing at seminary. The middle picture will make a little bit more sense with Sniper Pug when that comes into play. This is me being a great teacher, doing my thing. I survived seminary. I was teaching kids. That's actually a famous actor on television today. I can't release his name because it's, public disclosure. That's me in New York City, Les Miserables. I made it to Chattanooga because my parents told me to save some money. I was supposed to go from Berkeley to New York, but came here instead. This is me pretending to have it all together. I have my own apartment. I meet this cute little girl eating alone by myself at a Chinese restaurant. She comes and sits next to me, doesn't speak a word of English. She just watches me eat my dinner. So I ended up at the Southern Lit Alliance like every good English major, trying to prove myself. I could be a colleague. I could teach English here in Chattanooga. And then I started drinking more whiskey. Yeah, it all goes back to the whiskey ultimately. The whiskey was a great experience. I tried all the elixirs. I knew what I was doing. And found a little flyer that said, the Muse of Fire Project. This is the Muse of Fire Project. Kids talk about what is a play. They're 10 to 12. They're exploring their identity. They're basically me, but they don't have any job security. Oh, wait, I don't either. So the thing is this. With the kids, they write their own plays. Adults act them out. I even went to a workshop for teachers in Chattanooga. I was not a teacher in Chattanooga. I'm still not a teacher in Chattanooga. And here I am the day after having a seizure trying to pay attention. Yeah, you heard it right. I also have seizures. I probably should not drink whiskey. But here's the deal. When you have seizures, you learn that whatever you speak and comes out of your mouth has to have meaning, because sometimes the words don't come out right. They get all jumbled. And you find a project where adults are and they make up words and they're snake dogabirds. What's a snake dogabird? I still don't know what a snake dogabird is. But here's the truth of the matter. The Muse of Fire project are 10 to 12-year-olds creating their own worlds and actually adults getting up there and saying, your words have meaning. Hey, your words have meaning. I started behind the scenes creating projects, much like my brain with the electrical misfire. I create art like a 10 to 12-year-old. So this is the first place that says, you're an artist. You create art. And I do. So I created some costumes, a lobster claw out of some flippers. I did a goat dog, all these other crazy things. I also found myself in a musical on stage. I don't sing, no, but I found myself singing about friends and trust and relationships. This one kid couldn't trust anyone when she came to the Muse of Fire project, struggled with learning disabilities, and here she is creating a musical about all these friends that come together that actually trust each other. This is me in a role when I was outside the courthouse as a failed paralegal, Sniper Pug. Now, Sniper Pug could not be here tonight, but I will tell you that Sniper Pug ultimately fails in the end. It's a play about military. It's a play about trust again. And these kids are coming up with these brilliant ideas. Here I am playing a river called Why, and the kid that wrote this play is just like, well, why is this spirit? And you have to channel it. And I'm like, I lived in Berkeley. I got this. Yeah, I can be this river. I can flow. I can be really seductive. Oh, wait, you're 10 to 12. I can be really just flowy. And this is me as a 4-month-old baby that drools a lot. Yeah, I basically made a fool of myself and drooled on stage. My only line was, wah, and I sucked on a pacifier the rest of the play. Planet Flagonat by Joanna Cavalli, as she says. 10 years old, brilliant, homeschooled, never would have met these kids if I hadn't risked my heart, if I hadn't failed. Ultimately, my whole story today is about failure. You have to fail to get somewhere. I know it's not what we want to hear as millennials. Millennials, you succeed, you fly high, you get your master's in divinity, you keep going, and you succeed. And you wait tables. And you find yourself playing a nerd boy on stage who kidnaps zombies and unicorns. Technically, it's a bayabos. Still don't know what a bayabos is, but somehow it had basically a party hat. Most of my costumes include party hats because it should be a party. That is ultimately what the Muse of Fire has taught me. That when you fail as a sniper pug, you let go of who you think you're supposed to be, embrace who you are. You get up on stage and talk for 20 seconds, for 20 slides, and you don't know what the heck you're about to say, but you find all these ties to the people that spoke before you. And thank goodness the improv people did not go after me because, good God, they would have had a array of things to say about me. Basically, I also found my spirit child, Joanna Cavalli, who wrote Planet Flagonat, is the little version of me. How is it that you come to a place where you meet the small version of yourself and tell them everything you wish you had known? I didn't tell her about failure or whiskey or why she should go to the whiskey festival, but I taught her mostly about listening. All I did was listen to this kid days on end, and I found my family at the Muse of Fire project. I learned how to make fun of myself, let go, be a kid who finally embraces that she might be epileptic for the first time in 26 years. Hey, it happens, but at least the words came out kind of right.